This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. And I'm going to talk about the Achachairu, you know, the Bolivian mangosteen, and we have fruit on it, one of our trees, and the Garcinia gardneriana, and Garcinia brasiliensis, and Garcinia livingstonei, the African mangosteen. It's our quaimut tree. So we don't water anything here. And we didn't get the rains. It's the quaimut that's like trying to set fruit. It will. It's fruited every year for the last 3 years, so I'm not too worried about it. Mangoes look stellar still. Of course, you know, these two will fall off. Nothing to worry about. This is a coconut cream. It's got quite a bit of fruit on it, so I'm not going to stress out about immature fruit falling when there's so much fruit on the tree. So this is a buttercream that has done a second bloom and actually set fruit. That's always encouraging. It looks like it's going to do more. This Spanish lime is putting out new growth. We only got like a 1/4 inch of rain yesterday, so we haven't gotten the rain. Supposedly tomorrow we're going to get the rain. This is a peach cobbler mango that's got a lot of fruit on it. I don't know why this phone does that. Decide to blur up on me. So I have a major announcement besides the second bloom on the mangoes. It's about our certification. This is a sugarloaf mango. It's got quite a bit of fruit on it. This is a coconut cream mango. It's got a lot of fruit and it's got a big second bloom on it going on right now. The other side is covered. I didn't show these mangoes from this side. And this is a sweet tart mango that has a lot of fruit on it. It's just now fallen behind the tree line. My favorite fruit. This tree, this fruit on this tree. I'm hoping it does a second bloom. I'm sure it will. None of these are falling off, but they probably need to. So I got some people that try to judge me on trees that, you know, aren't being watered, like rasa pote and stuff like that, you know, they think should be a different size after so many years. But this is our farm, my farm, and I dry farm everything, and I want to see what actually is possible. And we have some 15-foot rasa potes, but they are not 15 foot. We have a 15-foot canastil tree, but what knocked our rasa potes back so far was the freeze 2 years ago. So here's the Garcinia livingstonei. So this particular tree last year made $1,000 in fruit. So I did say I'm not going to be biodynamic certified. I said in my thing, we're not going to be biodynamic certified. So none of our fruit is certified. None of our stuff is certified anymore. We aren't certified S, as you know. You ain't got anything. So we don't have any certification. This is just my yard. I happen to have 10 acres. I happen to plant thousands of fruit trees on here. All the trees that are here I planted. Nobody else planted them except, you know, the big native trees, and the orchard floor was natural. So that's Garcinia livingstonei. This is a hermaphrodite tree. They have a perfect flower, so every flower produces fruit, kind of like Garcinia mangostana. That's like the ultimate hermaphrodite plant, and We have 3 of these trees that are hermaphrodites. 3 out of 6 is pretty good. Well, we have more than that, 6 fruiting trees. This tree is covered in fruit, and in a couple months they'll all be ripe, or in a month or so they'll all be ripe, and I'll be selling them. I'm not probably going to be able to lower the price on those from $5, I think $4. It costs a lot of money to do these certifications, money and time, and it causes stress. And we were the last biodynamic farm in the Deep South, the last one in Florida. So we were the second biodynamic farm in Florida, and now we're the last biodynamic farm, and we are no longer biodynamic. Basically, the second you turn in your intent to not certify, they cancel you. So goodbye. I don't know. I just never felt like a biodynamic person. They all are like super nice. I'm sure some of it's phony, but they're like super nice, and I don't know. I don't trust as much as a lot of these people. So they never I called them, I talked to them on the phone, the biodynamic people. That's what made me decide, and they really had no interest in the tropical fruit. They're all carrot farmers. Everyone's a carrot farmer, and they don't understand tropical fruit. They don't know what it is, and we're not biodynamic anymore. So that's that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm never going to mention the word again, hopefully, and all the best to them. I'll just continue on with what I've been doing. So this is our little Mica lemon, and I just see it has lots of fruit on it also. That was a cashew. I was trying to see if there's any fruit on it. But it's loaded with flowers, and it appears like it's going to, as soon as it rains, it'll start setting fruit. I love cashew tree fruit juice. So I'm trying to get over by where I was when I ended the last video, and then work that way. So bear with me. These are lychee trees. Still so bone dry. People probably get horrified when they see all that dry carbon, but you know, carbon is water, basically. If you got carbon in your system, you have water in your system, and all this stuff above the soil are carbon below the soil with their roots. Oh, we got lychees, yay. Not a lot, but the birds will get them anyway. This is a little tree, but you know, considering it's never been watered and it's dry farmed, it's everyone has issues with lychees now. So I'm just going to go up here, and then oh yeah, this cotton candy is blooming, and it's got fruit on it. It's kind of cool, so I imagine they will set fruit. This is a buttercream. It's got fruit on it. This one has a little bit of fruit on it. This one, I should have cut this pepper tree. I need to do that still. I really, sometimes, you know, I just don't have enough. So these cotton candies have a lot of fruit on them, a lot of fruit. And then those. So that's basically where I ended. So this is where the dragon farm was, that the last owner pulled it all up and threw it all away. It was all in pots. I mean, the guy that, before this owner, he like clear cut all this forest. I did a video about it, and then he'd burn right in that spot where nothing grows. And he'd burn the giant plastic pots, and he'd burn his glyphosate weeds and everything else, and all the trees that were in there. And I inspired that because I started growing tropical fruit trees here, and he wanted to do the same thing, or did do the same thing, but they don't like to do it like this because, I don't know, people don't like the undisturbed orchard floor. But it works exceptionally well. We do have 7 different types of fruiting Garcinias, and we did it in 7 years. And we have lots of fruiting mangoes that have more fruit than I see on most people's trees. And yet we, for some reason, I guess because I called it a farm, Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, we're held at a higher level. And people expect us to be like, I don't know, either fail or be so superior to everyone that they still will like not believe it or say you're lying. So Florida, it really doesn't matter if you're certified. I don't think anybody ever wanted me to be certified that comes and buys our fruit. People know how I grow. I was kind of put back by the biodynamic. Yeah, I said the word again. The biodynamic people when I called, and they didn't ask how the mangoes were doing. They just had seen a picture that a picture of my zebus that the on-farm certifier took, and that's the only thing they asked about. And they're not even biodynamic certifiable because they have been dehorned. So the only thing they ever showed any interest in was my cute cows. You can send me one. Yeah, sure, I'll send you one. It's never gonna happen. I just sit here and do this for my health, which is definitely what's been going on for my health. So let's get back to talking about fruit trees. I'm gonna go look at the fruiting Achachairu I have. So I put some manure around my larger Achachairus, just because I know that the first year I used zebu manure on my big Achachairu, it produced fruit within 4 months. So the zebu manure, you know, it's an indigenous cow of India. A indigenous cow of India. It's probably crossed a little bit, but it's as close as we can get to the indigenous cow of India, the Bow Indica. There's a pomelo. Trying to see if I can see any of these little cherry of the Rio Grandes. I plant stuff in drought. If I have a cover that's green and that's little, I will plant it in the drought. I don't wait for rain to plant. It's another thing I do different than everyone else. But hey, we're just a natural farm now. We're not tied to any dogma. There's a citrus. Supposedly they have some new citrus that came out. It's amazing that I have all these different citrus grown from seed here, and we don't have greening, but yet when you want to do a monocrop, you find one tree. They found one tree that they think is gonna save the citrus industry in Florida because it's greening immune, and then they still do the same practices that cause the greening. It's just like you can't help these people. It's just, I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't care. I guess I do care, but I can't let it bother me. Anyway, so here's our fruiting Achachairu, and it's a fairly good sized tree, and it has lots of fruit on it, everywhere. Lots of fruit. I see fruit over there. I see fruit over here. I see fruit over here. We're going to be eating Achachairu today. Not really the best fruiting, but yeah, there's a lot. I see a lot. I see a lot way over there. So, it's okay. go on this side. This juicy pearl star apple is, it wants some water. It really does. I could see, but some bird attacked this one. Yeah, we got Achachairu fruit again, 3 years in a row. This is a black sapote, black beauty. Black sapote. I thought it had some fruit on it. I haven't looked for it. It's a sapadilla. Okay, so yeah, we need some rain. It's very dry, and the heliconias would look a lot better, and the ginger. I have my ginger, that ruffle leaf one. What is it? It's hanging in there. Look at this Garcinia macrophylla growing in the heliconia. That's the color of the new leaf, so it's not anything to be worried about. It's a very healthy plant. Very fast growing in the heliconia. I called these star fruit in my last video. I figured you guys knew what they were, so I didn't bother to. People like to correct me in the comments, so I was waiting for that. I was going to tell them thank you, but nobody did. That's an abu. So I've been doing the aroids, and people are into the aroids. I'm into the aroids, you know. I grow them naturally in compost we make here on the farm. And there's Jose Buono. There's a leaf on it. Where? There. It's a nice Jose Buono. And it seems to be doing good. Here's a 10 UCF. Here is also called Philodendron Spiritus Philodendron deflexum, Philodendron Spiritus. That's Philodendron Spiritus right there. It's doing good. They were getting so big that I had to move them up here into the trees. And here's a Scindapsus. And there's Philodendron obliqua. No, this is Philodendron, or Monstera subpinnata. Oh, yeah, subpinnata, that's it. Oh, I'm surprised my mind is like still together. The cha-cha trees. These are these heliconias that I divided last year that they got 2 seasons of drought is what they got. And all the orchids are blooming again. Yeah, orchids, you don't need to fertilize or water here in Florida. Just put them in your trees and walk away, basically. Take the plastic pot off of them, stick them in some wood. So here's Philodendron gloriosum. I've been, putting down my manures every day. That's what we do. Do I have to make compost still? Yeah, I make compost. I'm going to do everything the same way as I was doing before. I'm going to be getting my Social Security. I paid into it. I get it. And so I thought, I don't want to have any stress going into my golden years. So that's Monstera areopinata. This is a citrus. You know, this is one of all our citrus is seed grown, and they all seem to be immune to greening. I'm not really sure what the Florida citrus industry does, but I can't grow plants in mowed areas like that unless I water them. So that could be the problem. So here's all these. This is Nangara tense. This is that's Nangara tense. This is Linamii. There's the red. There's a Columbia, SP Columbia. That's that new thing going around. It's a cross between. There's luxurians, you know, gloriosum, and then I have Monstera or Philodendron maximum right here. Boy, it's doing great. It's in the ground, no problem. No water, no problem. And then I have Monstera obliqua, Peru. Where'd you go? She fell down right here. Trying to get it to grow up here. And Philodendron Spiritus Sancti right here. So it should be okay. It should grow. They should grow. I have the Monstera obliqua going up there. Yeah. So I think these crawling philodendrons will look great in here once they fill in. They don't seem to mind the weather here, just like the cacao. This is a fruiting cacao that I grew from seed, dry farmed. Yeah, this is kind of amazing that people really don't have any interest or very little interest in dry farming cacao in Florida, and especially this part of Florida, which most people would say it's impossible. But we have fruited that tree, and it'll fruit again this year, and we have its offspring right here somewhere. I think it's the only cacao that survived my... I don't see it. Where are you? Here's the Kolak. But I don't see my cacao. Where are you? Anyway, I saw it the other day. It's there. I just can't see it at the moment. So this stake, that's where we have a water spigot turn on and off, but I don't water, I don't turn it on. I could flood the whole area there if I just turn it on. It's an artesian water source. The well doesn't really bother, the well water does not bother my houseplants because we grow in compost, naturally clean compost. Okay, so I found another Garcinia. This one's amazing. It's Philodendron Giganteum blizzard. Okay, I moved my Spiritus Sancti out here. This is a Achachairu. So it's been like a year since I bought the seed grown Spiritus Sancti. I want to grow on this tree. And here it is. Looks good. It's amazing. It's got ears, but it's very healthy. I know people have trouble transplanting these, but I find the philodendron to be, this philodendron to be one of the easiest philodendrons that I've grown. Maybe it's because we just grow them in compost. I don't know, but we grow anthuriums, and that was a guava, Thai chunky guava. There's a Achachairu. There's a seedling mango. Okay, so right there is I thought a hermaphrodite tree, but I don't see any fruit on it. Do I? I'm too far away. Let me go around to the other side. I don't want to walk through there. There's so all these Monsteras and philodendrons, they take full sun. They take it right here. Here's a Monstera Achachairu. Beautiful leaves. It looks like Anthurium luxurians with the corrugation and everything. Let me go look at that Garcinia livingstonei. Have a little footpath here. So I want to see if this little soursop seedling is still alive. It is. Look at that. You see that? This is how little I plant my trees. That's yeah, don't judge her. It's been in the ground a year, but it's never been watered, and it's from a seed source. Seed was sourced from my friend Frank's mother's house in Fellsmere. So it's a fruiting guanabana in Fellsmere. And that survived all the cold and never lost any leaves. I believe it's the only guanabana I have that never lost any leaves. It's not in an extra secure position there. So I was kind of going over here looking at trying to look at those cacao that, yeah, I know y'all want it to be 20 feet tall in a year, but that's not how I work. Please allow me to do it my way. It's kind of an experiment. I'm sorry if it bothers you that it's not as big as you want it to be, but hey, I'm just letting it grow naturally. That's what we do. So we evolved into just being a natural farm, just growing natural. That seems to be what I need to do, because I couldn't grow being tied to dogma. And there's a Garcinia madruno. There's a avocado that I planted during the drought. I'm surprised that made it. But I was going through here looking for those little cacao that I just planted, and lo and behold, there's one right there. This was a gift from my friend Tim in Port St. Lucie that grows naturally. These cacao, these are the old leaves from last year's leaves. So when we start getting water, they will drop those leaves and they will send out new leaves. There's an Achachairu, and here they are. This is what they do. See the leaves? The new leaves? This is the old leaves? Yes. I hate these vines. So this is the new growth. See it? It doesn't look very good, but that's fine. It's going to be just fine. Here's a little one here. I got a bunch of them in here. They survive. I mean, to me, this is like a miracle in Florida. But I guess I'm unique. Here's another one. For some reason, everyone wants their trees to look perfect all the time, how they think they should look. And for trees that shed their leaves and stuff, it's not always 100%. And sometimes they're sleeping, which is what they're doing now. They want to wake up, but they're waiting for the trigger, which is the water, the rain. We haven't gotten it yet. There's that Japan holly. It's doing good. You know, that's the indigenous caffeinated beverage they made tea out of, or they do probably still. Luke's Garcinias. Luke's Garcinias. Oh, I forgot to look at that Imbe tree. I got so excited about the the cacao. Eventually, it's cacao, it's cocoa, you know what they make chocolate out of. You can dry farm it here, and it fruits. My tree fruited from 6 years from seed without water. So yeah, this is a hermaphrodite tree of Imbe, Garcinia livingstonei, the African mangosteen, and yeah, it's got lots of fruit on it. This is the first year this tree is flowered. And it's at a good, spectacular first flower. So I'm very happy about that. Very excited. It's my crinum, my giant crinum, my variegated giant crinums. They look great. They don't need water either. Yeah, it's not, I mean, look at how green it is, considering this is a drought. And when it's like that, there's water in the system that you can tap into. But getting your plant unhumanized, all the years of chemicals that the plants have been fed, and then cuttings and chemicals, the cuttings, it takes a while for the plant to learn how to communicate with its environment for help, such as water and nutrients. So this is a fruiting hermaphrodite Imbe tree. It's got a lot of fruit on it. These trees produce so much fruit. Yeah, we're definitely gonna lower our prices on these. So this jackfruit, this is a seedling jackfruit that's drought stress, and it's never done that before. And this one's okay. That's a grafted tree that produces fruit. There's another jackfruit over there that's fine, right in the center there. And then I dumped that next to it just to help. So this is an Imbe tree, Garcinia livingstonei, that last year I thought was a female tree. And that was a male tree last year. I'm positive that was a male tree last year, and now it's a hermaphrodite tree. But I don't know. It makes me question my memory, but I'm positive that was the case. Because I'll have to go look at the video, because I could prove it that way. It would have been one of my later Garcinia livingstonei videos from 2022. So that's a pretty good sized tree. Too bad it wasn't a hermaphrodite. So this is a male Garcinia hombromiana tree, and it's showing drought stress, which is like the leaves are kind of droopy. It just doesn't look super happy. It's still trying to flower right there. Come on. Right there. See it? No. Anyway, but I was like trying to figure out what I did different for this tree to go into drought stress that's never shown before. And come on, camera. That's irritating. There. And I like, oh, you put a path, you mowed the footpath that's next to it. That's the only thing I did different. That had to be what did it. It's not going to die. It's not dropping leaves. If they're not dropping leaves, there's really nothing to worry about. And a lot of times they'll drop the leaves. Well, I don't know about that tree because it's never done this before. It looks okay. It'll be okay. This was burned from the 33 degrees we had in January. That's left over from January. That, it had never been affected by any cold before. It didn't seem to hurt it, but Here's one of my little aroids. I saw another one. They look good. They're little tiny things. They're priestly aroids. Oh, they could be Geffner, I guess. So here is. This is that red flowering Garcinia that's trying to flower again, which is good because there's the flowers. Boy, every time I want to show something, this camera is like... There. They're getting ready. They're trying to develop. But they're definitely red. This tree is about 15 feet. So here's a Garcinia brasiliensis. It's got quite a bit of fruit on it. Not a lot, but it produces fruit pretty much year round. This is the one I eat the skin on. Oh. There's a gardneriana that has a fruit that I didn't see. Little fruit. They usually are bigger than this, but it's kind of dry, but it's very juicy, and so it's very good. So the gardneriana, I eat the skin and all on. So this is a female Garcinia hombromiana tree, and it did not flower yet. It flowered last year, but did not set fruit. It was the first year it flowered, and this year it got affected by the 33 degrees, the leaf burn on the tips of the leaves. And it really hasn't grown since then. Oh, I see the ground is wet. I just scraped it. And so I guess everything's okay. These black sapotes aren't very happy. This is where I had mangoes that like died and froze, and there's this little sapodilla right there, and now I have bananas and cherry of the Rio Grande and lots of them, Calycina, Eugenia calicinas, and there's a mango. Who is this? This is Juliet. Got a lot of fruit on it. It's a 3-year-old tree from a small 3-gallon dry farmed, you know. Black sapote still. But they're kind of on their way. They're done basically. So this, oh, and I have lots of mulberries, cuttings everywhere. These trees just, I already got the fruit off here. I get it every day. For some reason, birds have not found this tree. Probably because it's right in the full sun. This is world's best. Bananas. Working my way over to this Achachairu. No, this is Garcinia gardneriana. This is the one that has the completely different leaves but the exact same fruit. See? Same fruit as the other one, but different leaves. None of these are ready. These Garcinias, there's a little mulberry. That's the turkey one. Turkey mulberry. And then trying to see if I could see any of these calicinas I planted, but I can't. But I know that they are there and are just fine. And I ain't gonna bother looking at them because I'll probably step on them. This was another area that was full of mangoes that all froze. You know, that one, all through here. I'm just gonna do seed mangoes, and I've been doing bananas and mulberries. Bananas, they don't look very happy. So this is a orange sherbet that just produces too much fruit. This is a fruit punch that didn't give me any fruit this year. Or not fruit punch, this is peach cobbler. That's kind of surprising, but sometimes peach cobbler does this. This is a big guanabana tree. It's Miami guanabana. Trying to just go through the mangoes while I'm here. That's what I was trying to do. So here's another orange sherbet. This is all summer. Did not even flower yet. So these are more of those mangoes that froze. Miko lemon, and bananas. And then I've done quite a bit of little citrus this year through here. There's another mango that froze. And then the bananas. There's a big Achachairu there. So one thing about this place is the Achachairos are woven throughout the system. There's a mango that froze. So these bananas, I divided them this year. That's why they're kind of looking haggard, and it's been a drought. There's some of my manure. There's one of the Miko lemons. Look at how brown the top of the grass is. It's totally green underneath. A Miko lemon. Here's a buttercream mango. Quite a bit of fruit for such a little tree. There's Miko lemons. I never gave them any fertilizer. There's a mango that froze. There's a Philodendron mango. Got a lot of fruit on it. There's an Achachairu. This is the second biggest Achachairu we have, and it's the only nursery grown Achachairu tree that we never connected to water, and was the fastest grower of there's a mango that froze. There's one of my mulberry cuttings that she sure wants some water. Yeah. Black sapote is starting to flower. That jackfruit is like haggard looking. So I like to do my mulberry cuttings, they take especially well in, if you put a stick in like this, in with it, they always take. Eventually I'll just cut that tree out, or that shrub, whatever it is. So this is my Anonas section, and there was a row of mangoes through. Well, they're still here. They're coming back. Mangoes. I was gonna go to the guava, but why bother? Look at the sugar apples while I'm doing this. So I have 2 mangoes down at the very end. I don't have a lot of mangoes up here, but I would have if they hadn't all froze, but I'm gonna put the seed mangoes. So this looks like it's gonna be some fruit. These, we don't water anything. Sugar apples, Ilama. They like the manure. I put a bunch of manure around this Adamoya, and it's like got tons of it's got scale on it a little bit, just there, nowhere else. Right there, it's because of the drought. Just gonna produce fruit. Scale a little bit during times of drought on the Atemoyas when they're putting out new growth. They'll get it like lightly, but it's nothing to worry about here. It goes away. I've never had any plant that couldn't outcompete the scale. This is a custard apple. This is that Genova Ready Llama that was on pond apple rootstock, but I buried it above its graft, and this is all the new plant, so without the rootstock. Thank God. I thought I lost that. These things are covered in bloom. I mean, all of them are. This is a Atemoya, Priestley Atemoya. This is a Geffner Atemoya. I think this might be a Geffner Atemoya. I'll know when it fruits again. I forgot. I don't have to be so... It's such a relief not to be certified anymore. It's like, it was like holding myself at such a high level, and nobody really cared except for me, it seems. So, what a relief. So this is the Atemoya. Or this could be the chewy sugar apple. I got a red chewy sugar apple. It's either this tree or that tree. And then these sugar apples, they came out of their, they didn't have any leaves on them. And they came out of their winter slumber with no rain, and boy, they look good. This is a Sri shampoo, longan, some Miko lemon. Here's a Florigon mango, covered in fruit. I like Florigon. It's not the most intense flavor profile, but it's just a consistently good, sweet, fiberless mango that produces lots of fruit. This is a Namdak Mai. It's kind of funny how, not funny, but people say they don't get fruit set or fruit drop. They get fruit drop in the drought, but when you have this, you kind of have a constant moisture on your soil surface and right below the soil surface, because that carbon is holding water, whether it's water it gets from the air or water it gets from rain, but it's holding it in the soil right where the plant needs it. So it's a buffer. I don't know why everyone's forgotten it was the chemicals, because you have to use water with chemicals. That's why, or Hollytone fertilizer. Everyone uses peat. It's like, why? Everyone needs to make compost, but I'm just gonna worry about what I do. So this is a tree that didn't fruit, Edgar. This is a dot that has one dot fruit on it. I don't really care. I got so many mangoes that I'm gonna be sick this year. So Inga cinnamoniae. This is a Super Julie. Looks good. I like the color of the fruit. And this is a orange sherbet. Got quite a bit of fruit. Orange sherbet is such a huge producer that it's insane. And it's kind of a dwarf, or it's been a dwarf tree for me. This is like the biggest one I got, I think. That one I showed earlier, it produces too much fruit. I think I'm gonna pick all the fruit off of it. It's just unhealthy. So I said I buried the biodynamic horns. last year, and this is one of them that was here. And it's it was next to my footpath. There's that guava that had fruit on it until just recently. Here's an Achachairu. Oh yeah, it has fruit on it. A guava, it's constant. It's a constant. See this Achachairu tree? Oh no, it's right here. Trying to think, did I get all the mangoes? I got enough of them, I guess. The majority of them. There's another longan. Sri shampoo. Cherry Rio Grande is not blooming yet, so I don't have anything there. Anyway, this is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, Florida Natural Farming. And we aren't certified. We ain't certified at all. I hope you have a beautiful day. It's Florida Natural Farming. Thank you.